So it looks like it's happening again. Seth Rollins is getting booed. No, not as a heel, but people are already starting to get bored of him. It happens every single time this guy gets a championship. For some reason, people really like to cheer him while he's chasing the championship. But as soon as he gets it, they start booing. They get bored of him. I don't get it. It seems like Seth Rollins is cursed for like all eternity to get booed when we want him to succeed in the first place. Make it make sense. I don't understand how this is happening. Seth Rollins has been in the WWE for over a decade now. And this guy, I mean, he has carried certain periods of this company. He has had the whole company on his back. That whole authority arc, like that was amazing in the sense that Seth Rollins was actually a fucking good heel. Like nobody liked this guy. He made the fans hate him so much. It was like, it seemed like people actually hated the guy. It was crazy. It's crazy to be a heel in the WWE nowadays. 20 years ago, it was so much easier to be a heel. It was so much easier to have the fans actually hate your character. Maybe even hate you as a person. You can push it that. Some people were able to push it that far. But nowadays, it's like social media is around. Everybody understands that everything is scripted. We see other sides of these wrestlers on social media where it's kind of hard to start hating somebody. I mean, look at Dirty Dom. Dirty Dom started off getting hated on. It wasn't more so for him. It was more so in the fact that he kind of lived in his dad's shadow. He was kind of like just a bigger Rey Mysterio 2.0, slower, clunkier. But once he found himself, once he found his actual character, and then when he went online and people realized this guy's actually pretty cool and funny, now he's one of the most over heels. And we boo him. We boo him out of respect to boo Dominic Mysterio. But there are a lot of times where we start cheering him on. But for Seth Rollins, he gets over with certain characters. I mean, he was the Messiah, the Visionary, the Architect, the Beast Slayer. This guy has had so many gimmick changes, and he's gotten every single one over every single time. And he's chasing the gold, and he's chasing, and everybody's happy, and everybody wants him to succeed, and everybody wants him to win. And he gets the championship, and then the same people that wanted him to win are now saying, why the fuck is he holding this championship? He was a boring champion. I don't know. It would be really discouraging if you're in Seth Rollins' shoes. I mean, he even had a promo where he went on and said, you guys boo me. What do you want from me? This was a couple of years back. And it seems like he was actually breaking character during this promo. He had no clue what the crowd wants. And it's happening again. People are saying this whole faction that he's with, the Vision, is boring and rushed. Honestly, I think it's okay. I think they're actually elevating them to a higher status. I mean, they've been winning. Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker look amazing, especially with the whole leather jackets that they come out with. I just think they complement each other very well, peanut butter and jelly. And Paul Heyman leading the whole faction, I don't see as to why people are hating on the Vision. Seth Rollins right now is kind of like breaking. He needs to beat Cody Rhodes. That's going to be happening here soon at Crown Jewel. They're going to be facing off for the Crown Jewel Championship. Yeah, it's kind of like a filler event. It's not real WWE story arc, but it's going to be worth the watch, even if it's filler. But after that match, I do see Seth Rollins getting the upper hand on Cody Rhodes, but then I see CM Punk eventually coming back into the picture. I think CM Punk and Seth Rollins have a lot of history behind each other, and I do think CM Punk is actually going to win the championship from Rollins, but it just sucks that the crowd just they don't know what they want. And let's face it, after all this is said and done, Seth Rollins goes his own way and he gets a new gimmick yet again, people are going to start cheering, and then might come close to the championship, maybe wins it, and instant boos again. For a guy to stay this relevant throughout all these years of wrestling, like, he does a good job. You can't sit there and say that Seth Rollins is not a good professional wrestler. He's actually probably one of the top 5 on the whole roster at the moment. I wouldn't say he's top 5 wrestlers of all time, but he is definitely top 5 active wrestlers currently. I mean, shit, if it wasn't for Seth Rollins, we would have never got AJ Lee back. The whole feud that he started with CM Punk and bringing in the wives, this is the reason AJ Lee came back. And some people weren't even fans of that feud. I honestly thought it was gold. It was like power couple versus power couple, right? And Becky Lynch started off as a pretty bad heel. I'm not going to lie. It was very hard to watch her heel promos. I don't think for some reason, she wasn't able to act as a heel. She was much better as a babyface. But it seems like she kind of took a couple lessons from Seth Rollins, and she was incorporating a lot of stuff that he would say. And eventually, he became a really good heel. And then them together versus AJ Lee and CM Punk, I thought it was a solid match. Becky Lynch could not sell to save her fucking life. That Black Widow that AJ Lee put on her was horrid, but everything else was solid. Seth Rollins came from the Shield, probably one of the best factions known to man in the pro wrestling world. The Shield was one of the biggest things ever. Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, and Dean Ambrose. Now, people argue that Roman Reigns is probably the best wrestler, but I can't agree with that. Yes, Roman Reigns might be the most successful. It's the tribal chief. Everybody, he's like worldwide known, but he started off super hated, the big dog. After the whole Shield broke up and it was Seth Rollins' fault, he turned on them. He got a lot of heat in a fucking good way, in a very good way. People hated him. Dean Ambrose was always the underdog. People cheer for Dean Ambrose for years. I mean, I don't think there was a moment in WWE where people weren't cheering for Dean Ambrose, John Moxley, whatever you want to call him. Roman Reigns was hated for years. He was hated up until he had to leave due to his leukemia. And Seth Rollins, he was on and off. People were either hating him or loving him. And now everybody loves Roman Reigns, the tribal chief. The gimmick changed huge. Everybody's loving John Moxley. It's John fucking Moxley. Seth Rollins, who I would argue to be the best pro wrestler out of the three, now people are hating him. Acting wise, I just think he's the best. I mean, he actually sold us on that knee injury. People actually thought the knee injury was legit. Fun fact, his daughter almost sold him out on that knee injury. If you didn't know, they have a toddler, Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins, and she went to preschool and she told her teacher that her dad is faking a knee injury for his job. That preschool teacher knew some shit. And then he came out when CM Punk won the championship and cashed it in, and the crowd went fucking crazy. The crowd went insane. And now it's the opposite. Seth Rollins is 39 years old. He has about 10 years in the company left. We'll see if he actually goes to Hollywood, like Roman Reigns. But I really do think that he deserves more love from the fans, especially when he's the champion. I don't know. What do you think? Do you think he's actually a boring champion? Do you think he's better when he's chasing gold, or do you think he's better when he has the gold? I think he's just unlucky, and no matter what he does, it seems like fans just turn their back on Seth freaking Rollins.